Alright, so today we are spraying food plots for fall plantings, and we are going to just use a herbicide that's a concentrate of glyphosate, and we are going to mix that into a solution into these little 2-gallon sprayers. We're just going back into some hard to reach food plots, and they are fairly small. So basically I'm mixing a solution for each tank. Each tank will do roughly one small food plot that's roughly, anywhere from 1/10 of an acre even up to roughly 1/5 of an acre. We're just going to be kind of rough on our guesses here, but it'll be fairly close. As you can see here, when you're picking up glyphosate, it should just be the main ingredient, 30-40 bucks for a 2-gallon jug like this, and it should have 41% glyphosate in this jug. And all we're gonna do is put roughly 1 to 2 cups of glyphosate into this 2 gallons. That gets us to roughly in between like 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 ratio. 1 part glyphosate, 10 parts water. Usually with like an acre food plot, you're gonna use like 20 to 25 gallon solution with probably closer to 2 quarts in it. And so this is just measured down to be the same ratio, so that it ends up being roughly 1 cup, but we're gonna add a little extra strength just because we have pretty heavy weeds in there. So we're gonna go up to about 2 cups roughly, and we're good to go. Before I get out there, I'm gonna have these ready to go. All right, so we are out here going through the spraying process right now. So we just showed you our mixtures and just the prep work for getting ready to spray. We are out here on a plot. There is a ton of clover kind of in that thick section, and where we cut on this side, there's lots of clover in quite a few spots, and it's starting to really take over and choke out a lot of the weeds. What we're trying to do here is actually add in another type of food, so it's highly preferable many times during the year. And so we have our glyphosate mixture. We don't want to spray anything that we don't want killed. So all of this clover behind me, we're actually going to leave kind of in the center of the plot. And out here, we have quite a bit of clover, but we're actually going to end up plowing some of that in and turning this into brassicas. So it'll be half brassicas, half clover. So we are just going to go through and spray the edges where the tall grass is, because we're actually going to expand it just a little bit. And by killing all of the grasses on the edge here, it should be enough to just seed the brassicas right in. We are gonna till part of this and just kind of get that experiment of just tilling and planting and just killing and planting. So we're gonna add quite a bit of forage to this plot. It's gonna be highly preferred many parts of the year. And this little row here that's cut, there's very little clover in here. So we're gonna actually just kill all the grass and the weeds that are in here. And this is gonna be all brassicas in this row that go into clover. And then this corner's brassicas, and then that's gonna transition back into clover this way. So we are gonna create that deer movement and make that deer movement consistent no matter what time of the year, because we are offering everything that we're gonna offer anywhere else out here in the same food plot. All right, so we have our 2-gallon handheld sprayers, and we're just gonna pump this, pressurize these tanks up before we go out. These are really, really basic setups. I am trying to use very simple, easy to access tools for some of these videos to show that you can do it many ways and you don't need all of the big equipment. This is a plot that's pretty far away, so it's somewhat harder to access with large equipment anyway. So this is kind of a nice way that you can get into areas harder to access and not have to spend a ton of money to do so and put your food plots in. So we are doing a glyphosate spray today. That's going to kill just about everything. Grass, broadleaves, this nice beautiful clover that's in here, it will kill that very easily. So we're going to spray where we want to, but not where we want to keep this clover nice. There is clover behind me scattered in there, but we're just going to end up tilling that right in. It'll just be extra nutrients for our soil, and let's go. All right, so pretty straightforward. We just sprayed everything we could as evenly as we could. We sprayed some of the clover. We sprayed all of the long, tall weeds and grass on the outer edge. That's going to be a slight expansion of the food plot. And then we also did a spot underneath these tree limbs in this corner, because we'll end up putting a mock scrape right there in the next, probably this week. We're going to set this up to be a nice mock scrape, and we will position the camera to be on that as well. Let's do it. On to the next one.